Commence primary ignition.
Screensaver.
It's so much fun. How did you like it?
That's amazing. I love that item. How you doing, Eric?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. It's so good to see you. I'm so used to seeing you as like a little.
Hey guys, welcome. I'm just setting up the set a little bit. I got a little bit
It's good to see you
delayed here, but I'm gonna cover the live stream from Hasbro Pulse today. So it's Fan Friday, Fan First Friday, and these are these doofuses who are just setting it up, and I'm gonna have everything on screen in just a second.
I've also noticed you've got your beard coming in nicely.
Yeah, no, it's something it's something new I've been trying, just trying to grow it out a little bit more. And obviously now that we're kind of just stay at home with everything, don't have to be presentable for work, so that's good.
Not quite as, yeah, exactly. Everyone's growing the beards out. For me, I noticed I grew mine out, and I always thought I had a little blonde in my beard. When it got a little longer, I was like, oh, that's not blonde. That's some white hairs there. So some ups and downs to the beard life.
Yes, there are.
Awesome. Well, we should introduce ourselves for the fans out there. So fans, thank you so much for tuning in. My name's Patrick Schneider. I'm the Star Wars marketing lead for the fan business at Hasbro. And my good friend.
And my name's Eric Frainer. I'm
Give me but a moment,
on the Star Wars team, mainly focusing on the Black Series.
Absolutely. All right, Eric, you ready to do this?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get
awesome.
into it.
Eric, high five. 1, 2, 3, boom!
What idiots.
Oh, that one.
we literally added that little bit to the show like 20 minutes ago, so hopefully that came off. But we are so excited to be here with you today. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the inaugural Pulse Fan First Friday live stream, and we are so honored and excited as the Star Wars team to be here with you on this inaugural live stream. So this is a new platform that Pulse will be bringing to you. Fan First Fridays, basically, on Fridays dropping new content. Some of those Fridays will include live streams like this. We're going to have some great product reveals, some never seen before product that we're excited to share with you and kind of introduce to the world. We're going to have some reveals of new content. Other great news, it's basically going to be like a mini panel, which we're really excited about.
I'm glad that they're doing this in the middle of the
we want this
COVID
to be a
response.
Conversation. We truly do value hearing your input. So please, tell us what you think. Comment down below. We'll be mentioning that throughout the show to remind you, but don't wait for us to remind you. Feel free to comment so that we can hear what you think and make this a conversation. Sound good, Eric?
Yeah, that sounds great to me.
Should we dive right into it?
Let's do it.
Awesome. All righty, let's go. So now, first reveal. We're going to go right into the product reveals here.
Pardon the shakes.
First reveal. Obviously, we have been so excited the past several months about a niche show, very niche. It's called The Mandalorian. Eric, have you seen it?
I guess I saw it. Like it was this thing I had to really go searching for it. It was really hard.
Obviously, we're joking. The Mandalorian has taken the world by storm. It's been an amazing addition to the Star Wars canon. It's had such great Star Wars DNA, pulling in influences from the early days of Star Wars. But what I really love is it's also charting a new course, brand new characters that we've never seen before, including, and Eric, here I'm going to show off my real deep cut fan cred here. Very niche character in the show called The Child. Have you heard of him? I don't know.
Yeah, no, he wasn't that big a part of the show. That's what we try to do here is to pull these really just
absolutely
cut characters in.
No, of course we're joking again. The Child has taken the world by storm, and we've been so excited to bring The Child to our toy line in many different expressions, including the Child Animatronic Edition that went on pre-sale at New York Toy Fair and is actually still on pre-order today. So if you missed out at New York Toy Fair, check it out now. It's a great product. We love it, and we know that you will too. But as you know, Hasbro is a toy and also a game company, not just toys. We have a lot of great The Child toys, but I'm fortunate that I'm here in my living room today. We're coming at you, obviously, from home, which is where my family has our games closet, because our first reveal for the day, get excited, it's The Child Monopoly.
Oh, come
Eric,
on. All right. As they talk about this doofy stuff, I'm going to get better lighting, so just deal with me.
So it's such a fun game. I grew up playing Monopoly. It was something I used to always love playing as a kid, and I still do play it today. The players move around the game board and play as a child in different poses, such as eating the frog, using the force, drinking a cup of broth, and sitting in the hover
Deal with me
crank.
for 2 seconds
And the
here,
players
folks. Thank you
will
for
buy
dealing.
and trade objects from the child's adventures, like that cup of broth, a frog, tracking fob, Razor Crest cockpit, and the Razor Crest storage bay, while following the actions on the cards. And of course, in true Monopoly fashion, the last player remaining after everyone else has gone bankrupt will win the game. So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. on Pulse and most other retailers, and it'll be on shelf later on this fall.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for telling me about that, Eric, and all of our fans out there. So, fans, again, tell us what you think in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you think about this reveal and others. Alrighty, let's move on, Eric, to our next reveal. We are. What could that be? Is that a doorbell? Oh my goodness!
Much better.
It must be a
Thank
package.
you, folks.
We have received so many packages. So exciting! Let's see what this one could be. This is me going off screen to get my package. What could it be? Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. It's my pre-order shipment of the Black Series The Child. Eric, how excited are you about this item?
So,
very, very excited.
I'm also real excited to get one of these guys.
Absolutely. This is a great item. So for those of you who don't know, and I'm sure you do, because again, this has been everywhere.
Pre-ordered this guy
put a lot of
about
the Child
4 months ago.
Product on pre-order last December, right after the Child premiered in the show, and they're shipping now. This is the first one that I bought, I know. It's the Black Series The Child, perfectly in scale. To all of the other Black Series figures.
About knee height,
obviously very small.
right here.
The Child is very small.
I'm
but
very
it's expected
excited
to start shipping in May. And it's actually still available for pre-order at most major retailers. So fans out there, be on the lookout. If you ordered it, because it's going to be coming soon, get excited. And if you haven't ordered it yet, feel free to get on the action. Head to your favorite major retailer and check out this item.
Very neat. I'm excited to finally get him.
Great. Alrighty. And I will show you.
Look at how tiny.
The magic of the Pulse Triple F live stream. I actually also have an out-of-pack version. You can see it here. So small, so adorable, articulated in many different places. And it's got a great kind of little container here for all of the accessories as well. The frog, the soup broth bowl, and the gear shaft. So get excited for the Black Series.
Excited.
Now, obviously, I just said to get excited. We're excited about that product shipping next week. But we are also excited about the great Black Series figures we have coming this fall. Now, as you all know, the Black Series is one of our fan-focused expressions. 6-inch figures,
we know full Beskar Mando's coming. We know it's coming.
Articulation and soft goods where appropriate. We revealed several of our Fall 20 Black Series figures a month ago in our fan celebration with fan media sites to celebrate the home entertainment release of The Rise of Skywalker. Those figures included Darth Vader, the Mandalorian for the first time in his Beskar armor, Tebow, Admiral Akbar, such great additions to the Black Series, and we have 2 more today. Eric, tell us all about these great new figures.
So, both of them are brand new sculpts of figures that we've had in the line before. Figures that go all the way back to the beginning of Black Series.
I'd rather new figures, but
it was a time to revisit them and update the sculpts with all the advancements we've made over the past several years. So, our first Black Series reveal of the day, one of the most iconic characters in Star Wars, stretching all the way back to the beginning. It's
getting nervous.
A brand new Imperial Stormtrooper.
That's awesome.
Is it though?
So
I'll get it.
This
it's
item,
cool.
Comes with more part breaks in order to have cleaner deco hits in our previous versions. That was something that we really wanted to do on this character because he has so
if they're updating
many,
it to make it look like the vintage collection Stormtroopers we've been seeing,
and stuff like that. That was something that was important to us. And speaking of the articulation, that has also been really improved on this figure. So we actually have the shoulder pads attached in a slightly different way than they have been in the past, where the shoulder pads are kind of trapped within the shoulders, and they can flex easily out of the way to be able to get them into all those iconic poses that you all know and love.
Don't make me eat my words. That's exactly what I've been complaining about in my reviews.
Same
And
as
damn if they didn't fix it.
Stormtrooper, which we've accepted as the definitive Stormtrooper design.
Now, Eric, I'm seeing some numbers there on the forehead. Are we breaking Star Wars news here? Is that a new trooper design?
No. So actually, when we get in samples from our Chinese office in the factories, they print numbers directly on the foreheads so that we know that like which samples we're getting. So that basically this is hot off the presses. So that is why the numbers are there on the head, is for record keeping on our end.
That's awesome. So fans, you are seeing the glamour shots, the beauty shots on the screen, but we here in our houses have the kind of early prototypes hot off the presses, like Eric said. And we're really excited about this live stream format because it gives us the chance to show you the actual product that Eric has posed out into great poses. So it's really cool. Awesome. Thanks, Eric.
Awesome. Yeah, no problem. So for our next Black Series reveal, we have a similarly iconic character, but this one is from even further in the past, at least in the Star Wars universe. This one is a brand new clone trooper.
In the Black Series, the 41st.
Figure, so he's decoed out to look like the Kamino troopers from Attack of the Clones. So this sculpt had the same mentality as the Imperial Stormtrooper, where we had different part breaks in order to have planar deco. We also really improved the articulation in order to get those elbows into those really iconic and action-packed poses, which was a particular pain point with our previous clone troopers. It's great to get an updated version of this figure out there, especially with Clone Wars back out right now. Season 7 has been absolutely amazing so far.
Yeah.
So both these figures will be available on shelf later on this fall.
I got nothing bad to say
about
that.
Tell us what you think about these figures in the comments below. Now, obviously, we love the Black Series. That item looks awesome. Thank you, Eric. And we will have more Black Series reveals later. So if you are a fan of the Black Series, stay tuned in. But we also love our other fan-focused expression, the Vintage Collection. Now, as you all know, fans of the Vintage Collection out there, I'm sure, this is the heritage scale of Star Wars, 3 3/4 inch, also with a high level of deco and detail and super articulated. Now, we have one vintage item that we're excited to reveal today. Now, obviously, as I mentioned, we're all working from home. This is my home. I actually just moved a few weeks ago, so we're happy to be here.
Drop it, boys.
Working from home means that I've gotten to spend a lot more time with my son, Caleb. And the figure we're going to reveal next is Caleb's favorite, because this figure is kind of hiding like Caleb likes to hide. This is a real stretch for a build-up, but that's right. Boys. It's the Vintage Collection, Luke Skywalker in his trooper disguise. Eric, tell us all about this amazing new addition.
We knew it was coming. I'm excited.
So, as you know, this figure originally came out last year in our convention-exclusive Luke 3-pack, but this is the first time that it's come out on the Vintage card back. As you can see, it pays homage to the past and uses the same film out image from the Power of the Force card. So this one is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. at Pulse and most other retailers, and will be on shelf later on this fall.
Awesome. It looks great. Obviously,
it really does.
Yeah, so excited to get this into the line and on that classic Kenner card back for the first time. All right, Eric, tell us about what's going to come next.
So these items were all amazing, but as we've been talking about since New York Toy Fair 2019, this spring is all about the 40th anniversary of one of the best Star Wars movies of all time, The Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. In fact, we are now in the heart of it. The movie premiered on May 17th, 1980, so we are less than 3 weeks away from the actual anniversary day. But we're not waiting, because we have some great content and product to reveal today. So to kick things off, our 40th anniversary sizzle, which we played a few times, and this might be the last time we ever play it.
Awesome. Love that sizzle. I've loved it since the first time we put it together. I said then I get goosebumps every time I see it. I might just make our family watch The Empire Strikes Back tonight. Even though rewatched through all the Star Wars movies just a few months ago in advance of the final movie. But it's great. So now, we obviously are going to have some 40th anniversary product reveals. But before we get to that, we wanted to give you guys a sneak peek at some new Pulse content. Now, as you know, Pulse is all about fans first. This is Fan First Friday. And we are ramping up on our Star Wars content on the Pulse in the coming months. Check out Pulse Unboxed because we're going to have a lot more content. And first up is an all-new toy timeline post. Now, some of you, I'm sure all of you, may recall our toy timelines from 2018. Those were videos. And the idea is that we have all of this great historical knowledge on the Hasbro team. Honestly, I take it for granted. I'll be sitting in meetings just with these visionaries and these great historical designers, Eric. And it's just amazing. And we realize that we want to bring some of that great historical knowledge to you all. So as a brief reminder, here are our toy timeline videos from 2018. Roll film.
Yeah, this NES swoop bike from Solo is the latest and greatest in this toy timeline, but we've actually done multiple versions of both speeders and swoop bikes. The first ever Kenner speeder bike came out in 1983 after the theatrical release of Return of the Jedi. The 90s saw the first swoop bike, inspired by Shadows of the Empire. This bark speeder was repainted several times after Revenge of the Sith, and then we updated the classic Imperial speeder bike for the Black Series. Both its unique design, incredible size, and movie-accurate details, the This NES swoop bike sets a new standard. The Black Series Darth Vader helmet is the latest addition in this toy timeline, but we didn't actually make a Vader helmet until the early 2000s. Designed using photos from the 1980 set, this version had an electronic chest box extension that played real movie phrases. The second version had that shinier Episode 3 gloss and housed all the electronics in the dome. The 2018 Black Series helmet detaches into 4 pieces, has movie-accurate sound effects, and is the first ever with a fully decorated interior. This truly delivers the complete Darth Vader experience.
That's awesome. And I will say, full disclosure here, that film was going to roll regardless of whether I said roll film or not. But I've seen that in TV shows. I've always wanted to do it. So I did it. Now, as much as we loved those videos, we obviously, as you saw, had to make them relatively short. We weren't able to include as many historical details as we wanted. So to bring even more info, we are moving the toy timeline format to blog entries, starting with our first one, which will be a fascinating behind-the-scenes historical look at our Boba Fett helmets throughout the years. So check that post out next week, May the 4th week, sometime next week on Pulse Unboxed. It's going to be great. Sitting in the meeting, hearing about the history of those helmets was amazing. So check that out. I'm sure you'll love it.
Cool. So let's move on to the next portion of the show. And
what could that be?
Did we have another package delivered?
Oh my gosh, Eric, I think that was on your end. Did you get a ship?
Too. So I'm gonna go over here, and oh look, it's my pre-order of the 6.5-inch child figure.
Whoa, that's awesome. That's a little bigger than mine.
Yeah, I mean just a little bit, and
both awesome.
They are. And luckily, I also happen to have mine out of box as well.
Yeah.
So one really cool thing about this figure is it actually has acrylic eyes with lifelike artwork inside, which brings the character's expressive face to life. It was really cool to be able to see, and it really just adds another level to this character. So this item is expected to start shipping the week of May 11th and is still available for pre-order in most major retailers. So be on the lookout for this item.
That's awesome. Can't get enough of the child.
It is adorable.
So cool. All right. Let's move on to our Carbonized collection and our final reveal for our 40th anniversary Carbonized collection. Now, some of you, I keep saying some of you, I'm sure it's all of you passionate fans out there, I'm sure, recall our fall 2019 Carbonized collection with 4 great figures, the Second Sister Inquisitor, Jet Trooper, Sith Trooper, and of course, little-known character, the Mandalorian. Now, those were followed up with by our spring 2020 Carbonized collection, celebrating, of course, the Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary. We revealed the first 2 out of 3 figures in that collection a month ago at our fan celebration, Carbonized Boba Fett and the Imperial Stormtrooper, which look amazing. Those are great additions to the collection, and they're actually still available for pre-order today. They've sold fast, but there's still some available. Now, some of you have asked for some background on that collection. We launched it last fall in the middle of Triple Force Friday when a lot of stuff was launching, so we didn't have the time to give details to everything. But we have a post up on Pulse Unboxed about our Carbonized collection and the history and what different. So go check that out. It's a really cool read. And today, we will be revealing our figure in the Empire Strikes Back 40th collection. It's Darth Vader Carbonized.
Oh. All right.
Oh, yes.
It looks really, really cool. And it looks better in person. And so one big thing that we realized with this figure when carbonizing Darth Vader, all in metallic black wasn't all that different from his mainline version. So comparing the metallic black to the glossy black, it just wasn't that big of a difference. So we really wanted to give this a bit of a different look. So we went back to Ralph McQuarrie's early concept images, many of which gave Darth Vader kind of a blue hue to him. So we took inspiration from that in executing this carbonized Darth Vader, and we basically shifted all the colors to be more blue hinted, more taking inspiration from that Ralph McQuarrie concept images. So we shifted the soft goods, all the silver hits, all to have that blue hue, and it looks really striking, especially when he's next to Darth Vader. It just looks really, really cool. So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively at Amazon, and it's on shelf later on this summer.
That's awesome. And I will say, now you may have noticed out there that me as the marketer, I revealed the game and the Impact vintage figure. So the team didn't trust me with a ton of articulated figures. But I will say, I post this out all by myself, which is not as good as Eric could have done it. But I think, I don't know, I think I represented myself pretty well there. So
no, you did really well.
It stands up on his own, which is great. Standing up right there. All righty, on to our next item. Oh my goodness, what could that be? Is that another doorbell, Eric? I think that's me.
I think it is
me. Is it my order of brownie mix, or my goodness, the Holy Grail? Is it toilet paper? It's something even better. It's the child talking plush. Look at that. And again, through the magic of the Pulse Triple F live stream, I also have an out-of-box version. This character is honestly my favorite of the ones that we revealed last December and went on pre-order. It's adorable. As you can see on the images there, the reveal images, so cute. It's fully plush, totally cuddleable, makes these adorable sounds that you can hear. Oh, so cute. So this one is also going to be shipping in May. Basically, shipping trucks around the country and around the world will be stocked to the gills with all of these different the child items. So this guy still available for pre-order at most major retailers, and as you can see, also comes with a soup broth bowl and the frog. So be on the lookout if you ordered it. You're gonna get it soon. If you haven't had the opportunity yet, check it out for pre-order now. You can still get it. Alrighty. The child excitement continues, but our next item is also continuing a collection that we started in the past few years. Now, last year, one of our convention exclusives kicked off our Empire Strikes Back 40th anniversary collection. It was Boba Fett in 6-inch scale on a Kenner card back for the first time. You can see it on your screens now. It's beautiful. For the first time in 6-inch scale in his Kenner-inspired deco. Now, honestly, when we came up with the idea for that item, we thought it would be fun. But when we first saw it last spring for the first time, we were blown away by how cool it looked, as you can see on your screens. So, of course, the gears at Hasbro start turning. Our design team starts cooking stuff up, and they came up with the idea for the following item. Eric, tell us all about it.
Yep. So our last item that we're revealing today in our Black Series 6-inch Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary Collection, and the continuation of our Kenner Deco collection, is not just one, but 2 items in a 2-pack. It's Orlum and Zuckuss.
That's awesome.
So now, of course, as mentioned, you can see that these figures are done in their original Kenner-inspired deco, which looks great on these figures. We still wanted to maintain the same level of deco that you've come to expect for the Black Series. So we went about to execute the figures to Black Series standards, but with the original Kenner deco. We wanted to imagine what these characters may have looked like in the movie versions if they were in those Kenner deco colors. But it also gave us a chance to get these 2 2018 bounty hunters back out there. But newer collectors might be wondering why we package these two particular figures together. Apart from them being super cool Empire Strikes Back bounty hunters. Fun fact, these two characters will forever be linked because their original Kenner release saw them actually with switched names. So Zuckuss was Forlum and Forlum was Zuckuss, which wasn't corrected for many years. So we have paid homage to that with this set and tried to match the original pack as closely as possible. And it's available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively at Amazon, and it'll be on shelf later this summer.
That's awesome. So cool. So jealous that you got to reveal that item, Eric.
Yeah, no, they're really awesome.
That's a great reveal.
All right. We got to keep this show rolling. We have so much more to talk about. So it's time to move on to our next item. Now, we started doing Black Series 6-inch figures on Kenner-inspired card backs in 2017, 3 years ago, for the 40th anniversary of A New Hope, the collection that you're seeing on your screens right now. And then, as we revealed at New York Toy Fair a couple of months ago, we're continuing this collection this year for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You can see them there. They're starting to flow into stores right now. Now, back in 2017, there were characters that weren't quite right for the mainline assortment, but they made great exclusives. And the same is true this year. For example, that great 2-pack that Eric just revealed. Now, obviously, you know, your Star Wars history there's a main character in the original trilogy who's kind of key in tying together Empire Strikes Back, the end of Empire, to beginning of Return of the Jedi. That character is our next reveal. That's right. On a Kenner-inspired card back for the first time, it's Han Solo in Carbonite on a card back. Looks amazing. Eric, tell us all about this great new addition to the line.
Yeah. So one thing we really wanted to do with this figure in particular is because it's seen in multiple poses, it's upright and on its side. We actually, this figure actually comes with a stand to show off the product and either standing upright or hovering, as you saw in Empire Strikes Back when he was being pulled into the Slave One by Boba Fett.
That's awesome.
So it looks really cool to be able to have this in those different poses and to be able to kind of play out those different scenes. This is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. Exclusively at Amazon. It'll be on shelf later on this summer.
Absolutely. And I have the out-of-pack version here as well that you can see. So there's the stand right there and the other stand that puts it in its floating. And I will just note, again, a non-articulated figure. So we definitely allocated them to the right people. Okay, let's keep the party rolling. Now, some of you may recall our Fans' Choice poll at 2019 New York Toy Fair, where you, the fans, chose a new member of our Black Series line to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back. You all spoke and chose Luke Skywalker in his Dagobah outfit as the newest member of the Black Series line. You're seeing the image there. Now, we were really excited about that item, and we immediately began work on it. And we gave you a preview of that work at SDCC last year. But as we continued work, there was just something that we couldn't quite shake about the image that you voted on and that you're seeing right now.
So, as Patrick mentioned, as we were creating the figure, we noticed that there is something missing, which is why we're excited to reveal today the Black Series Luke and Yoda 2-pack.
My goodness. That's awesome. I could not have posted out like that.
So, honestly, we realized that you can't really have Luke without Yoda that can fit in his backpack. So we tooled up a brand new Yoda for this purpose. All of our previous Yodas were actually a little bit out of scale, so this is our first Black Series Yoda that is perfectly in scale with the rest of the line. It comes complete with an alternate head to recreate all the scenes on Dagobah for Yoda. And then finally, a true engineering feat. Luke comes with alternate hands, and you can actually, with some effort, recreate Luke in his handstand pose.
Wait, what? What? What am I looking at? Clearly, Eric, there must be some glue or wax involved there.
No, so actually that was something that we really wanted to do with this particular figure was to make sure that when we took this photo, it was him completely unassisted. This was something that we tried to do with every single stage of development. Every single sample we got in, we tried to make sure that he could get into this handstand pose. So that is him completely unassisted without glue or wax.
Wow, that's awesome. I was a math major in college, and I'm still not fully understanding the angles and how you guys made that work. So I will be breaking no news here to say that I did not pose out that figure for that photo reveal that you saw just there. Clearly beyond my abilities.
So this one is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. at most major retailers, and it'll be on shelf later on this fall.
Awesome. Very cool.
So let's move on to our next product reveal. And
what could that be? What could that be? This bit might be getting old, our fourth time into it, but hopefully not. Fans, tell us what you think about this bit in the comments below.
Yeah. So, look, it's my pre-order shipment of the Child Bounty Collection.
Couldn't have guessed it.
Yeah, so who would have guessed we all got these deliveries during the live stream? It was crazy.
That's amazing.
So, I also happen to have these out of pack as well, and they are just adorable looking things. So they all come in 2-packs, and the team did a phenomenal job of styling these characters. They all are super adorable. So these items are expected to start shipping the week of May 25th and are still available for pre-order at most major retailers. So be on the lookout. I mean, look how cute those are.
That's awesome. I'm a little jealous you got to reveal those and now get to keep them in your home for the next.
Yeah, no, they are. They will always have a special place on my shelf. They're awesome.
That's awesome. Okay, fans, tell us what you think about that little bit. But now it's time for our final 40th anniversary product reveal and our final reveal of this product reveal. We have more news, but final product reveal of this live stream. And we have a special guest who's going to help us reveal it. Now, for those of you who are fortunate enough to be able to continue doing your jobs from home, you'll know that there are some benefits as well, like having your family with you all day long. We already talked about my son, Caleb. Well, we will be helped in our next reveal by my very loving and patient wife, Kate. She will be wearing our next reveal because it's the next in our line of role-play helmets. We started in 2015 with our Kylo Ren helmet and continued throughout the years. She's wishing I would just get on with it at this point. We continued throughout the years with the Imperial Stormtrooper, Poe Dameron, Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker, many trooper variations, and then, as we saw earlier on the show, our Boba Fett helmet. Well, that brings us to our next reveal, sported by my wife, Kate. I'm never going to hear the end of this. It's, Kate, the Boba Fett prototype armor helmet. It looks amazing. Eric, tell us what Kate is wearing on her head.
Heard about it.
So now, obviously, most of you know the history of this look for Boba Fett. This is based off of the original 1978 Joe Johnston concept design for the Super Trooper. So as soon as we knew we were going to be doing a Boba Fett helmet for the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, we knew we had to do this helmet as well. So we constructed to match a conceptual version of the armor, originally cast in all white for the test footage. And to best match the concept, we tooled a bare dome for the helmet, absent the iconic
Mandalorians, thank you.
So the interior is treated in a slightly different color palette to further differentiate the two helmets. As is the case with mainline helmets, this helmet comes fully loaded with an articulated rangefinder and illuminated heads-up display.
And it's really comfortable, right, honey?
So comfortable.
You can see the articulated rangefinder right here and the heads-up display. Can you track your prey, Kate?
I can.
That's awesome. All right, Eric, tell us where all of the fans and their loving wives out there can get this item.
So this is available for pre-order today at 1:30 p.m. exclusively on Pulse and other fan channel accounts, and it'll be on shelf later this summer.
That's awesome. I will also say we had to put my son down to bed early because it's just such a striking helmet. He was a little scared to see mommy's face disappear and that helmet come on. All right, I owe my wife big. Okay, that's it for our reveals today. But stick with us because we have two really important pieces of news that I guarantee you won't want to miss, and we also have a Q&A section. Okay, the first piece of news. Now, many of you are familiar with our archive collection. This is our greatest hits line that elevates our best and most popular figures in the Black Series history to our Hall of Fame, or what we call the archive. We began that line last year, and honestly, we got great feedback from you all online, at conventions, and in the form of sales. It was great to get bounty hunters you're seeing like Bosk and IG-88, heroes like Yoda and Luke Skywalker, villains like Darth Maul and the Scout Trooper, and of course, heroes/villains, spoiler alert, for those who haven't seen the movie, like Anakin Skywalker, back in circulation, and updated where applicable by Photoreal Deco. Now in 2020, the 40th anniversary collection basically serves that same purpose, so we rested the archive for this year. But we are excited to announce that it's coming back in 2021. But that's not the most exciting piece of news. As we started to discuss the line for 2021, we realized that, again, these are the greatest hits, the best figures. And who better to help us determine what the best figures are than you, the fans? Which is why we are excited to announce our next Fans' Choice poll to choose a figure for the Fall 2021 archive line. You, the fans, will have a chance to choose the figure that's your favorite to come back to the line and be updated with photoreal deco if applicable. Now, as we've done in past Fans' Choice polls, the first round of voting will take place on some of our favorite fan media partners. So go check them out and cast your votes. And then the final round of voting will take place here on the Pulse starting May 15th. So check back then. Make sure you participate. We want to hear which figure you want. We're going to put that figure in the line. And again, tell us what you think about all of this in the comments down below.
Cool. So, the next piece of news, we've loved being here with you today, celebrating Star Wars Day and sharing some new product. But this is just the start of the May the 4th weekend. There's much more to come. We have the next reveals in our new and already popular gaming grades line coming Monday from GameStop, so tune in on Monday for that. Entertainment Earth is doing awesome social media challenges around Star Wars the next 2 weeks, so head on over to Entertainment Earth on May the 4th. And that's just the start of the fun with exciting content coming on Disney+. As recently announced, Disney Gallery The Mandalorian, which provides a making-of look at the show, and that premieres on Monday on Disney+. The Clone Wars season finale also streams on Monday, so definitely tune in for that. The Rise of Skywalker, the conclusion of the the Rise of Skywalker, the conclusion of the Skywalker saga also comes to Disney Plus on May the 4th. I'm so excited to be able to watch it again.
So much stuff to do. I wish that May the 4th was an official holiday so I could just stream all that content. That's awesome. All righty. Final segment of the show, news on upcoming Q&As. Now, we are really excited about this. We always tell the fans that we're listening and we want to hear your feedback, but we realize that this isn't really all that easy for you to give. Someone asked me about this at New York Toy Fair, and I was like, well, you can, I don't know, fly to Comic-Con and tell us there. But that's not a sufficient answer. So we are excited to announce that the Pulse will be doing cross-brands regular Q&As on Pulse, where we and other brand teams will answer some of your questions. Now, we're giving this a sneak peek today, short-form content. Some of you submitted questions earlier this week, and we're going to answer some of them right now. And we will be back in a few weeks later this month or next month with a more dedicated Q&A to answer more questions. Now, one quick note. We're happy to answer difficult questions. Definitely don't pull your punches. But obviously, this is a family-friendly show. We won't answer anything, obviously, with inappropriate language or anything that's not constructive. And we've seen those same comments on some of our favorite fan media sites. And honestly, those questions are filtered out before they even reach Eric and me, so we won't even see them. So definitely keep the questions challenging, but family-friendly. So Eric, what do you think? Should we go on to the questions?
Yeah, let's do it.
All righty. Our first one says there's a lot of demand for more 3 3/4 inch within the Star Wars collector community. And the question is, will we see more figures in this scale from the prequel movies or the animated Clone Wars series? That's a great question. Thank you to whoever out there asked it. We agree. As we've said before, we love the 3 3/4 inch scale. It's the heritage scale of Star Wars. It unlocks the world building with vehicles and play sets. It's great. And there will definitely be many more figures in that scale. The vintage collection is fully in our plans for upcoming years alongside the Black Series. We keep hearing rumors, but those rumors are not true. Both lines are fully in our plans. In terms of which content we pull from, we've said it before, it's really kind of an embarrassment of riches. There's so much great Star Wars content coming out. Obviously, you know, the movies are done, but we've got The Mandalorian, we've got Clone Wars, we have so much cool stuff coming out, and there's already also so many different sources from the past that we can pull from. The Clone Wars is a definite candidate. We're pretty sure that we will see more vintage and Black Series figures from the Clone Wars. So if you love the Clone Wars, again, pretty sure that you can count on more figures being revealed and on shelf on both the vintage and Black Series scale. There's definitely been more love for the prequel movies, which we love to see. I love them. And we could see more there, but the vintage collection is a tighter line, so no promises there. All right, Eric, next question. On to you.
So, the next question is there any chance we could see the return of comic 2-packs? These were always great platforms for some of the best Star Wars figures released in the past. So, the comic 2-packs were really fun. They allowed us to release very unique figures from all corners of the Star Wars universe. There is certainly a chance, and it would be cool to see these kinds of things return. There is a long history of packs that take inspiration from here. The comics have been introducing some awesome storylines and characters lately, and it would be great to be able to start.
That's awesome. Alrighty, next question. The question is, with how many different Star Wars toy lines there are now? Mission Fleet, Microforce, Battle Bobblers, Galaxy of Adventures, Hyperreal, the Black Series, the Vintage Collection, etc. Is there ever a feeling of being stretched too thin? And this is a great example. Like this is a challenging question, right? But we're happy to answer it. So it is a good question. And again, it's kind of all about that balance. I'm sure that if you're watching this live stream and you're a passionate vintage or Black Series fan, you would never want us to consolidate to just one of those lines because obviously you're passionate about the line that you love. And of course, many fans love both. And of course, those are the collector-focused lines. Mission Fleet, Battle Bobblers, GOA, those are for kids, some of whom are looking for something different from product than a more passionate fan. And Hyperreal, of course, was a newer line last year. Honestly, we're excited about trying out new things that we think will solve a pain point for fans. We're going to continue doing that. We're going to keep innovating. And honestly, like that's similar to how we tried out new things when we launched the Black Series in 2013 and the Vintage Collection before that in 2010. Again, I'm sure that no one wishes we hadn't tried out something new then. So we're going to keep trying out new things. And again, the goal is always, honestly, to give you guys what you want. So let us know what you think in Q&As like this, in the comments below, at conventions, and honestly, with your wallets. But this being said, we're definitely aware that we could stretch ourselves too thin, and we always guard against that. So it's fine. It's about finding that balance.
Cool. So, on to the next question. Is there merit in doing smaller HasLab projects like single Black Series or Vintage Collection figures, particularly for characters that wouldn't be considered for mass market? So, that's a great question, and definitely something that's possible. We've always said that HasLab is reserved for those dream projects that just don't work under the regular brick-and-mortar business model for whatever reason.
So give us vintage
obviously, things like the barge fit in that category, but obviously figures that don't make sense in the main line are also definitely dream items for a lot of collectors and wouldn't work in the regular brick-and-mortar business model. That being said, there are a lot of bigger dream items that we would love to get to. So it's all about that balance and trying to determine what the fans want the most. So definitely let us know in the comments and let us know what you would like to see as a HasLab. Yeah, we'd love to hear from you guys on that.
That's awesome. Alrighty, next question. And I just realized I can do this and refer to the question right here. I've seen that in TV shows as well. I've always wanted to do that, but it's not popping up, so that's fine. All right. Have you considered creating an archive line? There it is, right there. Question right there. An archive line for previously released figures in the 3 3/4 inch scale, like we've seen for the 6 inch scale. So we have considered that. We considered it a few years ago, and good news for whoever asked that question, we actually do have that. When we were launching the archive, again, several years ago is when we started development on the archive, we discussed the need to do the same thing for the Vintage Collection. Just like the Black Series, the Vintage Collection launched some of the key characters, 5 to 10 years ago. And just like the Black Series, there's a need to get those previously released figures back into the market for fans who want the photoreal updates, who got them before and want that update, other fans who have come into collecting since they were released, and then new fans who want to start collecting the Vintage Collection with some of the main characters. With the Black Series, obviously that's newer, we have the different packaging looks. So we were able to create a new greatest hits line look that incorporated elements of all the previous looks. But of course, for the Vintage Collection, the packaging is key. We obviously can't change that. We couldn't create a new packaging look for the Vintage Collection for these greatest hits. So instead, within that constraint, we created 2 waves a year for those key previously unreleased figures that you can find in specialty channels. The goal of those 2 specialty waves was always to end up in newer markets.
What is your favorite trilogy? So I'll answer first. The original trilogy for me is my favorite. I grew up watching those
to this one. So thanks for tuning in to this. This was the live stream of Hasbro Pulse's Fan First Friday on May 1st, and that is certainly kicking off the Star Wars week of holidays for May 4th. And I don't know about everyone else, but I recorded this because it was actually the stream it wasn't intuitive to find. So I'm hoping that you watched this. I'm hoping you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for my channel where there's going to be more Star Wars news, and I'll try and keep up the dates and everything awesome. So everyone have a great day. May the Force be with you.